So you guys are approaching the Blues Palace. There's some more ogres kind of standing guard watching the kobolds work. You see one kobold kind of nearby kind of collapse, and one of the ogres that's escorting you kind of sighs, walks over, grabs the kobold, and throws him into like a trough of water.
You're just tempting us now, aren't you?
Yeah, this is just hate your patron style stuff. Anyway, you enter into the Blues Palace, and you see the same Holy One with the halo of lightning crackling around her. But this time she doesn't say anything to you. She just bids that you enter in through another doorway, a large archway. As you walk through a new hallway, you see on the walls there are engravings of battles in which many non-dragons are portrayed as dying, and there are three in most prominent. There are 3 dragons, pretty much destroying everything. Those of you who know your history think that most of these battles didn't actually happen, and this is just a conceit of the Blue. You enter into a much, much larger chamber, and there is a huge blue dragon sitting in a kind of a nest made out of marble and silken pillows, just huge pillows. And she looks at you as you enter. What would you like to do?
This is a joke.
That better be a joke.
Hail, Lord.
He'll walk up to a respectful
Called her
distance.
Lord?
I think he said Lord.
Okay, Lord. Okay.
Lord. Formal greeting, bow and all that.
I won't bow, but I'll stand there at a respectful distance.
Do you say that, or do you do that? Formal greetings, bow, and all that.
Your construction policies might give you short-term advantages, but in the long run, they pose risks to you and your holdings. We'll start it off serious.
Wait, that was your opening statement?
That is my opening statement.
Okay.
Formal greeting, hail Lord Blue, and then construction policies.
Alright, so the Blue is female, just letting you guys know. She's a sorceress. She's going to turn, kind of look at you oddly and say, the kobolds pose no threat, but that is not why you're here. I understand you've been causing quite a bit of trouble in my city.
Your understanding is incorrect.
You have caused a great deal of trouble outside of my city. Do you deny this?
I'm going to have to respectfully disagree.
There's an extremely strong wind forms and just blasts at Makaha, and his cloak falls off. And she says, "Do you still disagree?" And she's looking directly into Corvicur's eyes.
Makaha doesn't even flinch. I'm going to ask a question. Would Corvicure speak through Makaha at this point?
You can just get the sense that Corvicure doesn't really want to get on the Blues' bad side.
Makaha, keeping a respectful tone of voice, would say, "Me and Korvakir fought, and I thought it would do him honor to ensure
To
his
be
legacy lives
worn
on."
as a haggard and tattered cloak on a tribal
It
honor.
needs some repairs,
She
yes.
laughs.
Is-
But no
is-
matter, that is
it-
not why you are here, barbarian. You and your friends, since you have come to my city, have murdered lizard men. You have worked with a cell of individuals that operate outside of the bounds of my authority. You have killed a red dragon, and you have released 3 dragons who have refused for centuries to serve me, and has led to destruction throughout my town. What have you to say for yourselves?
Your Dragon Master picked that fight. Locked us in, gave us no choice.
And so he did. And she kind of gestures to the white, or to the Holy One, and she walks up to you, Roland, and hands you a sheet of paper that's written in common.
Okay.
And you recognize it as a letter of marque authorizing you to operate with impunity within her realm in the goal of bringing in evil dragons.
Me, personally?
That's for your group.
Okay.
Despite everything that you have done to my city, the Red has told me that you have become an asset. I will forgive for the time being, but I will not forget. Beware the Eld. He is a fool. But he is right about the Archmage. I am glad that you're assisting us.
Why should we believe you any more than the Eld?
From what I have spoken, or from what I understand with the Eld, it matters little whether you believe me or not. You'll discover the truth soon enough. She looks pointedly at your rings.
Duly noted.
May I ask, why did you kill my dragon catcher?
Again, he picked the fight.
We were asking him some
Why were you
questions.
there?
We seek a dragon.
A
Not for
particular
killing,
dragon?
and not for subordination. But yes, we seek a particular dragon.
I have many assets. Perhaps I can assist. What dragon do you seek?
What motive have you for assisting us?
Well,
My suspicion is you might already know the answer to the question, thus I will give it to you, but the dragon we seek is called Jokul.
I've never met that dragon, but I know of them. I believe that she was... I'd had issued an order to bring that dragon in for refusing to serve. I believe that Jorn had captured it at one point. I will look into my records, see if I can find where it may be at this point, Bard. Just remember the favor that I do for you.
Your assistance is appreciated.
Do you have a
Is
good...
it? Is there anything else that we may do for you?
Not at this time. Be in contact through the Eld if necessary.
Haven't we already performed a service for you?
What is it that you speak of? Abomination.
Barnabas grins. Well said. Despite your immense and obvious power, Barnabas nods his head respectfully, I am assuming that you have no love for this thing known as the Diabolist. And within your realm of influence, we, perhaps not entirely of our own volition, but yet still the service was completed. We closed what could have become quite the problem for your rule. You lost no guards, had to commit no resources, and what could be a threat to the stability of your little empire was quickly handled by us.
That is true, but I understand that the Eld has already rewarded you quite fairly, so for what reason do you raise this to my attention?
To remind you of what we are both capable of and what we have done for you already.
Very well, you will recall that upon our first meeting, I spoke with your wizard, who I see has since left you, and indicated that you should travel north against the true threat, which is, of course, the Diabolist, aligning with the Orc Lord. You have not yet done so, but I trust that with the Elds, she kind of gives a toothy smile, encouragement, you will be moving that way soon. Is that correct?
That would be broadly correct, but I think you misunderstand exactly what has occurred.
You eliminated a minor hellhole, and I did not have to send any of my dragons to deal with it myself. I am well aware of the situation.
Precisely. So now, your Diabolist is now focused on a new threat, leaving you and your services, your intelligence, your forces with less pressure on them. So I would expect that while we are doing this work for you and looking into the truth of this matter of an alliance between your Orc Lord and your Diabolist, that you now have more freedom to operate. And I would suggest that you would share whatever more you can divine with your increased freedom with us.
Abomination, we are on the same side in this. I will give you the information that I learn.
Barnabas raises up his hand with the ring yet again, as he did with the Eld. This is not on the same side. This is forced bondage.
That is between you and the Red.
One would hope that as we have been both reasonable, respectful with you, you could perhaps mention to the Red that we do not need bondage, and if we are working toward the same goal, we do not need to be forced into it.
What bondage do you speak of? The rings do not force you to do anything.
Barnabas chuckles again.
They're merely a tool to speak with you.
Why do I doubt that somehow? I have a strong suspicion that since we cannot take them off, if we did something to work against you, or something that you and your cohorts did not desire, you would have a very quick and efficient means of dealing with us.
Exactly, and she's going to disapprove of that. Why exactly?
Much as with your kobold slaves out there, true, if they refuse to work, you can throw them in pits of water, sizzle them alive, turn them into ash, and that you don't have workers.
Sorry, the pit of water was like the dude was dying. It was like dehydrated. They were trying to help him. I didn't describe that very well.
I thought like you were throwing him into like a cooking pot or something. Like, well, this one's done, so we're gonna boil him up.
Not that bad.
Still
bad. Still bad.
Objectionable.
Technically compassionate. The guy was like, "This guy's thirsty. I better give him a lot of water."
Not really intelligent.
Mutual cooperation, mutual willing cooperation is always preferable to whatever secrets you were refusing to reveal about this ring.
We shall return, and we shall return with results. And when we do, we will appreciate your consideration. I'll spin and walk.
LT's walking out.
Yep.
Okay. The rest of you gonna follow?
Unless she stops me.
No, she's not gonna stop you. She has no beef with you.
Makaha would stay the longest, looking up at her and asking the question inwardly to Korvakir if he has anything that he wants to say to the blue.
Korvakir basically tells you to get the hell out while you can.
Makaha would say goodbye, but instead of saying it in common, he would say it in Draconic, turning and picking up his cloak, throwing it over his shoulders before he leaves to hide the armor once more.
Alright. Let's go ahead and call it for tonight. Actually, well, what are you guys going to do next? That will help me to plan.
We're probably going to stay one more night in Dragonhall if we're leaving in the morning, I'd say. You guys want to leave today?
I thought we were heading north to the Elf Queen and making a detour to the Shelob's whatever was mentioned, Shelob's spot, to see if we can find anything.
Right.
So we're going to set out right away and not stay another day in Dragonhall?
Why would we need to stay another? Is there a reason?
No,
You
not
can
really.
get your shopping done, that's fun.
Yeah.
Alright, then I have no objections.
Actually, I do have one more thing I want to do in town.
Yep, there's probably time for it.
Strip clubs.
And this can be done over the break, but I would like to consult with the mages I spoke with previously about the precise identification and abilities or shackles of these rings.
Okay.
But they can,
And we'll just do that real quick. So you travel, on the way out, you guys travel up to the Mages Guild, and you go in to speak with Master Temin.
Mm-hmm.
He's in his room. The door opens as you enter, or as you approach once again, and he's just kind of sitting there poring over an old tome. I don't know why I said tomb. What would you like to do?
Good afternoon, Master. Or another
Bard. Welcome back. Have you solved your conundrum?
It remains an issue of concern to me, but it is one that I hope time will bear the answer. I have what I believe to be a magical object in my possession. I would like you to take a look at it and divine its capabilities and purpose.
Of course. Let me see what I can do. Could you hand it to me?
The difficulty is I cannot actually take it off. I believe that's correct, right?
Yeah. Master Temin steps up and says, "Oh, cursed items. Ha! I specialized in cursed items back at the academy. Years ago. I'd love to take a look at it." He's going to try to do a ritual here.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wow.
Alright, so he basically tells you that the ring is imbued with two magical properties, and two magical properties alone. One is a location, as in it is telling someone the location of the ring, and it also serves as a communication device.
Okay.
He does not sense that there's any malicious magic, in the sense that it's not like a walking bomb or anything like that.
So beyond us being unable to remove it, there's nothing negative?
Except he knows exactly where we are at all times.
It's right. The location, the communication,
and the unable to remove.
And the unable to remove, yeah.
Could anything be done to alter the properties of this ring to make it removable or...
Interesting. One second. He thinks that it might be possible to be able to spoof the location spell. Not dispel it, but at times give yourself the opportunity to make it seem like your location is different.
Okay. What would be needed for such a thing? Who would be needed, I guess?
He thinks it's beyond your abilities, but a suitably powerful wizard or magic user should be able to do it with ease with the proper instruction.
Okay. When he says my, is he referring to me specifically or my part?
He's talking about you specifically.
Okay,
it's
obvious.
Else in your party, he doesn't know.
Right. Right.
Does he feel like meeting a corpse?
I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's all I want to know. So thank him for his time, and I will donate 50 of my gold to his continuing research.
He's very appreciative and reminds you that he may have work for you in the future. And he's also, he casts a little cantrip, not a cantrip, but a more complicated spell as you leave, and it says, we'll be able to communicate through this ring as well, if that's okay with you.
I think that'd be fine, thank you.
So we have 3 wizards we owe a favor to. Well, 2 wizards, a cleric, the Eld, the Blue Dragon. Like, what the hell?
I don't know how this guy any.
Yeah, this guy's an employer.
Right. He's willing to give us work or alternately help us out. Resources like that, they're good to have handy.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just find it funny how many people we owe a favor.
Can I ask him one more?
Yeah. Do you want him to kind of describe how he would go about doing that? Spoofing the location?
I do, but I also want to know if the ring is a one-way or a two-way communication device. In that, can we use it to communicate with the other side?
Can we initiate communication?
Right.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I think structurally I don't want you guys to be able to call the Eld.
I think what we do is wait until 3 in the morning and we just all call him at once.
Yeah, you're able to call him. You're able to call Temin though.
Okay. Because that's the spell he cast. Okay.
Yeah.
Have him briefly describe the spoofing.
He'll write down some notes that you actually can't understand. When you look at it, you're just like, I have no idea what this is saying.
With magical stuff, right?
Yeah, it's magical mumbo jumbo.
Barnabas will get it.
My magic is all tied up in musical principles.
Give it to the Chaos Mage. That's a wonderful idea.
I think it's a good idea.
At least you'll understand it. What you do with it is another fact.
Right?
I believe in Barnabas's goodwill.
Okay, that's all I wanted to do.
All right, cool guys.
Good session.
I think I'll try to use the landscape maps more. I like that a lot. So,
hey, I'm going to want to chat with you for a little bit before you go to bed, Will.
Oh, you bastard!
I am a bastard.
All right. Talk to you later, guys.
Well played, everyone. You have to make your own call since I'm the host.
Yep, arrivederci.